Yo, 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 yo. Peace, Vandals and Vandalettes. It's the God Mathematics, and you now watching the Vandal Hour Season 6. Woo!
Take two.
Take two, live on S.STREET Media. If y'all was watching me before, as I said, we get high and shit be happening. But make sure you check us out every Saturday, whatever time we come on, usually 4 to 6. But you know, as I said before, we fuck up. And that's every Saturday, 4 to 6, and whatever time we come on. You can also catch us live on Ustream at S.STREET Media. Or you could catch us on our YouTube page at S.STREET Media, the new home of the Vandal Hour, Respected DJ, and all these other dope shows.
That's what's up.
Now, you know, I know you see a lot of people here. You know, I got to introduce one first, though, man. I got to introduce my man, the new co-host of the Vandal Hour.
Woo! All right. I'm here.
How you feeling, God?
I'm feeling good, my brother. How you?
I'm all right. I know we fucked up. Second take live shit. You know? But how you feeling, man? What you bringing to the Vandal Hour, man?
I'm feeling good. I'm bringing a new perspective to the Vandal Hour. You know, I lived the streets from a young age. You know, I was a graffiti bomber. You know, so I'm hoping I can share my experiences with you and you know, crack a few jokes along the way. You know what I mean?
That's a fact, man. But I gotta talk about this hat you have on.
Yes, Graph Cinema.
I'm gonna speak to you a little bit about that Graph Cinema, man. For the people that don't know, you can find Graph Cinema on IG. They are dope graph website. They got clothing going on. They got some of the dopest like live fly graph shit going on. You want to see some dope bombing and all that shit, you need to check out Graph Cinema on their website and on IG. They got clothing, dope shit, hats like that. I got a shirt that I'll be wearing, the burgundy joint, fly shirts and everything. But you know, I gotta get into some real shit. Bushwick Bill passed away this week. And you know, very major for the hip hop community.
What did he die of?
Pancreatic.
Yeah, pancreatic cancer.
Stage 4, if I'm not mistaken. But you were speaking about their iconic album cover.
The album cover of Bushwick Bill getting rolled into the emergency room. He must have took off his bandage or something. And there's his eye. What was it that they try to shoot him? They shot him in the eye or something.
He shot himself.
He shot himself.
That is a self. Oh no, a woman. Pardon me. He told his woman to shoot him. If I'm not mistaken, that is the story of Bushwick Bill. How that happened? He was suicidal. He was going through some things or whatever. And make a long story short, I think that he coerced or talked the person he was with into shooting him. And that's how that happened. You can actually Google that. Somebody Google that for me. So even though we're going past that, I still want to know if I'm right on that. But yeah,
could you bust this shot in my eye real quick?
Please. I don't need this eye. I want to be a rapper.
Crazy.
But, Ghetto Boys, very influential. Anybody who grew up on the Ghetto Boys, man, very influential. Even though they from Texas, New York was bumping them. Mom playing Tricks on Me. Very influential in hip hop history and the culture. I had the pleasure of meeting a brother at South by Southwest. Very good dude, man. And he's from Bushwick, Brooklyn. You can also Google that also. But very influential in the game. You know, on another note, have you seen the Central Park 5 thing on
Netflix? I haven't seen it. I heard that the ex-prosecutor, you know, has been going through some shit. You know, they're kicking off all these boards, and people are distancing, you know, themselves due to the fact that they were exonerated and that she played a part in this miscarriage of fucking justice. How are you gonna and they are so nonchalant about it. They will destroy your life and not even fucking bat an eyelash.
And
like they do that shit on the regular.
And they're not taking nothing back.
No,
like
they
they going to the grave with that one. The two prosecutors is two separate prosecutors. One prosecutor is on the board of a lot of it's some type of foundations.
Yeah.
They knocked it down. They also, she's a famous published author.
Yeah, and the publishers
publishers dropped her. The other one that was part of it was a professor at Columbia University.
Yes.
They dropped her. I heard that a lot of the black law students is the one that got her out. But it's crazy, man. People who lived in that time, it was very crazy. As I said before, one of the people that was accused of rape was a friend of my cousin's. He went to LaGuardia High School at the time, and I remember the conversation. That was definitely a conversation that I had with my cousin about that situation. So it was crazy. The word that they associated with that was wilding.
Yeah, why they
was using wilding first.
Term.
We was using wilding first, and then they made wilding a rape thing. Like, if you was wilding, that means you were committing
you were committing fucking A felonies if you was wilding.
Yeah, so that's crazy.
You doing B felonies if you was wilding.
So that's crazy how they, if y'all don't know, the younger people that watch the Vandal Hour, check that out. That's things that was really that's really what happened during that time. Trump wanted to bring back the death penalty because of that. He took out a lot of ads.
He had a full page ad in the fucking newspaper.
True indeed. To bring back the death penalty.
Trump been hating us,
and he's still to this day one of the people that didn't take it back either. Like they go into the grave with this one. But on a more positive note, the Raptors, aka Drake's team, won the championship. How y'all feeling about that, man?
I haven't watched any sports since football ended. No sleep. I watched golf. I saw Tiger Woods win the what was that? The Masters or some shit like that.
He definitely got a green jacket recently.
Yeah, me. Yo, big up to Tiger Woods. That's my man right there.
So how y'all feeling about this Raptors thing? You watched the Raptors?
Yeah, I watched it, and I always root for the underdogs, man. So it definitely, I was rooting for the Raptors, man. You know what I mean? Warriors, Golden State, man, they got too many championships. Let the underdog get some breathing room. You know what I mean? That's how I see it.
I definitely root for the underdog also, but I hate the fact that Drake is the ambassador of this fucking team, man.
Wasn't he about to get into it with one of the
he about to fight. He was in Steph Curry's face. He was in the other dude.
Yeah, the other dude.
Damon, or whatever his name is. Yeah. That's crazy, man. But
is he trying to bring a certain attitude to like the NBA or some shit with his fucking presence courtside? Like, get the fuck out of here, man. Fucking.
It's crazy, man. But
has he made anything new?
He said he's gonna put out 2 new songs if they won.
Oh, fuck.
That's one thing. But also, man, the dude. Well, who's the dude that hurt himself? The kid.
Kevin Durant.
Yeah, man, he was supposed to go to the Knicks, man. They fucked that package up now. Yeah, I think he's gonna still come. They take the peoples when they bum out.
They'll give him $200 million and he'll fucking sit on the bench for 4 years.
When they bopped, we take him, man.
That sounds like a great contract.
Yeah, it's crazy. He gonna come up on the Knicks. Real quick, for the people that might not be familiar with this part of the show, but this is when we get into this week in the Vandal Hour news.
Noticias.
We usually have like a news thing like, but Swift ain't here. But in the Vandal Hour news, we got the Black Books and Crooks event coming up last Tuesday of this month at Karma Lounge, which is 51 First Avenue. We have YNN as the host. They're going to be hosting the whole night. J-Lo, Stem, Hops, and other brothers. and other brothers, other YNN members. We're also going to be displaying their art also, but we will have other artists stuff. This is not a YNN night. This is actually this a graph night, but they will be hosting the night. Besides that, performing, we have Danny Diablo, we have Joe Fatal, we have Fly Tito, we have Skanks the Rap Martyr, Debonair, and we might have one more act, I don't know, but that's the people that will be performing that night. Also, I'm glad to announce that the evolution of the 1718 Collective 4 Years and Beyond event is coming up in July 25th. It's going to be happening at 215 Moore Street, which is right off of Bushwick, I believe, Bushwick Ave, Flushing train to J train to Flushing. It's going to be a 2-floor extravaganza. A lot of dope artists is involved. All the 1718 Collective past and present members. Also, a lot of new, interesting people that's going to be involved. Hopefully, we could get, Tommy the Animator. Hopefully, we could get To The Moon. Hopefully, we get everybody who's been with us for these 4.5 years and beyond. So make sure y'all come out to that. It's going to be from 3 to 12 a.m. Kid friendly from 3 to 6. It's going to be fly, live music, all that shit. And that's basically what's going on in the Vandal Hour News. Vandal's flexing, man. As I said before, Vandal's flexing does not mean that the person wrote yesterday. It means that we just don't people who's just getting busy, period. I've been seeing a lot of Caesar, Life, Flash, Cade, and a whole lot of Anso. If you want to be one of these people that is talked about on the Vandal Hour, please send us some pictures of your work, and we might post it. If we don't, it might not be worth posting. Sorry to say. Sorry to say. But
You know who's doing work? That dude who does those throw ups, Poster VSOP. Yeah, VSOP. I like baby. That, bro. His style.
Yo, his style is.
He got fucking style, that dude.
For throw ups.
And he's fucking. And he's doing it hot boy style.
Yeah, there's no side blocks with those.
Yeah, my man.
Oh, sure indeed. Shout out to them, man. And they keep doing it, keeping the culture alive and direct. You know,
Miss 17 is she got to give her props.
Oh yeah,
too, you know what I mean?
Them big boys been popping up again, man. Them big boys, big things. I seen some nice, beautiful things happening in all over. But yeah, there's a lot of people who's flexing. Those flexers, man, those are the people that keep the culture vibrant. You know what I mean? Wanting keeping the shit going so the younger generation keep adding on and keep building what's going on out there. I give it to your cameras and all. You're popping and locking. Word.
Yes.
Popping and locking.
Props.
But yo, I want to get to these two brothers right here, man. You know, our guest of today. As I said before, and I keep saying that there is no before. These people, these two brothers, a lot of history, a lot of Brooklyn work they put in, a lot of things they was a part of. The culture still is. I'd like to introduce to y'all Ba for Crew. And I also want to introduce to you Cheo SMG.
Yes.
Real quick, you know, we got other people in the house too. I just want to say shout out to Fogs 501, shout out to Damp, shout out to GS, also in the building. But back to y'all, man.
Yes.
I didn't, you know, we did this is our second time doing this.
Take two.
But it's something that I didn't ask you that you explained.
A double dose.
But I want to ask you, Cheo, man. Back in the days, I used to see Cheo SMG. And I'm not going to lie to you, I thought it was a crew.
Yes.
You know what I mean? For a long time.
It was a crew too.
For a long time, I thought it was a crew. I'm going to tell you the person who revealed it to me. It was my man, Nep. I knew Nep since I was probably like 9 years old. And he went to St. John's. I went to Most Holy Trinity, across street from my projects. And I, like, in our time, we always been cool, tight. I remember him actually like me speaking about you, and I'm saying the SMG like it's a crew. He's like, that's not a crew, man. I said, what do you mean? Can you explain the SMG for
Yes.
us?
Yeah.
Well, it's a great story. Go ahead.
Yeah, so when I started Graph, you know, I had a couple names, you know, which was like long or just too difficult or whatever. And I don't know, I always wanted to be original. And my name is Cheo, you know, they used to call me Cheito. So I remember just sitting in my room and I said, yo, you know what? I'm gonna try Cheo. So I remember having my pen and paper, and I wrote Cheo, and I'm like, you know what? This is original. Nobody got this. This name belongs to me, and nobody could ever say that I copied it from anybody. So I ran with that for years until like 1989, and in 1989, the universe has blessed me with a daughter, and I became a father for the first time, and I named her Stephanie. I named her Stephanie Marie Guzman. And so you know, like, it was a gift, and I loved her so much, man. I was like, wow, you know, I gotta put it down with me, you know. I just have to. I just gotta put her in this grafting with me. And so what I did was I wrote Cheo Stephanie, and then I counted the letters. It was way too many letters. And so I tried it once or twice, but it was too time consuming. And so I said, nah, I gotta shorten it, man. So and that's how I came out with Stephanie Marie Guzman, and I just said SMG, and then you know, I added the 4 to the 3 letters, and then I evened it out, and I looked at it, and I put it in front of my eyes, and I'm like, yeah, you know what, this is it. So right there, that moment, I made up my mind. This is what I'm gonna live and die for.
It's like a stamp, man.
Yo, for real, man. What a great story, man.
Yeah, it's like a stamp, God. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
man.
when I think of like the easy tag, because you really a tagger. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like,
Yeah.
I associate you to tagging, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I could see your paths. Like,
Right.
there's times that the way I could tell Cheo was up Graham Avenue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
Like,
how we strategically did it. We hit Avs, you know what I mean? Like, we would start from one end of the Ave, and we would go to the next end. Even if it took us 2 or 3 days, we would come back each night and start off, you know what I'm saying, where we stopped. So we was hitting all 5 boroughs of each Ave like that.
So tell us a little bit about your story, Bob, man. You know, you have a dope history also. Tell us a little bit about yourself, man, graph-wise.
Well, first and foremost, I want to thank my higher power for giving me the gift of life, right? The gift of the moment, and allowing me to be blessed to be sitting here with you brothers. Wow, my story, man, it goes back to the early 80s. I was a young toy like everyone else started, 83, 84. You know, I started off writing CEE. I always wanted to be guard body back then, you know what I mean? And all my peers were. So, or if they weren't, they were trying to be a guard body back then. That was like the thing to be. You know, it was like, you know.
C is understanding.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, C justice, man. So I said, let me just throw up CE for, you know, to shorten up the C justice. And I remember the first tags I would take, you know, it was with shoe dye, and I would always like just open it up crazy, and I would, you know, go home with shoe dye all over me, and my mom's be like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, those are the first memories of graph for me, you know what I mean? And I think back on intimate moments now, and it's like that I treasure them, man, you know what I mean? It's like something I lived and I appreciate and I hold dear to my heart, you know. I started off bombing like with Cheo, and his name wasn't Cheo back then, you know what I mean? Like, his name was always Cheo. You know, when we grew up together, like from 5, 6 years old, and you know, his mother and my mother they were really tight. They were like sisters, and I always knew him as Cheo, but that wasn't what we called him. You know, we would call him that, but that wasn't his first graph name. You know what I mean? I remember him writing RF, and And I was just talking to him about it. I was like, yo, you had some dope throw-ups back then. Like, even back in 84, 85, like, he was like one of the first dudes, like, you know, came out with some nice throw-ups from our little crowd, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, what happened with those throw-ups? You know, and throughout the time, he was like, I don't want to tell his story, but he was like, I just left the throw-ups alone. And like myself, you know what I mean? I always felt like, like, I would take a tag and keep it moving. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't trying to get knocked.
More is more.
You know what I'm saying? So I always gave props to those who actually stood there and did fillings and stuff like that, because that was never me. Even when I hit the trains, and I was never really a big train bomber, but I got my little.
There's a few pictures out there that I'm
Yeah, I
seeing
mean,
with
no,
you on
like
the train.
I got, I hit a few trains, put it like that. You know what I'm saying? But it was always the insides. I did a few outsides, but it was always the insides. You know what I mean? And I came about that, just moving up a little bit in time. With LC and LI and Torch and BG. Those are the first guys that, like Torch was the one that took us to the layups. I mean, as far as I go, I know L was already hitting trains, like he was hitting the A's and the CCs, and he was already going down to train yards and stuff like that. But for me, vividly, I remember going down to Van Sicklen with Torch for the very first time, and the BG crew. And it was a mob of us. We used to run in packs, you know what I'm saying, back then.
You had to going to them yards.
Yeah. I mean, it was a layup. It wasn't a yard, but it was treacherous back then. You know what I mean? Like you wasn't from down there. You were getting vamped. You know what I'm saying? Plain and simple. You know what I'm saying? And I was always, we was younger, so they would get kicked in the ass. These guys were older than us. You know what I'm saying? So. So Torch was always a big guy, so he always looked older. So we felt confident going down there with him, you know what I'm saying? And so those are my first memories of hitting like a train, you know what I'm saying? And later on, I like 86, 87, I started hitting the M's and the J's, and that's why I met a lot of guys like DG, rest in peace, PA, Joe Sill, Deck. I met Deck periodically, but he was from the same scene I was from. You know what I'm saying? Him and No, they were really smashing the outsides back then.
Deck was getting busy. FUA.
Yeah, FUA crew, Vic crew. You know what I'm saying? Those they already had stuff smashed when I started hanging out on that end. You know what I'm saying? But these are dudes that that was smashing, like Ono, CQ, TOS crew, you know what I'm saying? Those are dudes that that really popped out to me, you know what I'm saying? Because they had like a lot of outsides, you know what I'm saying? And like Pizer, RE, those dudes, we grew up around them because they from the same area we from. So I always gravitated towards those dudes that was smashing the trains, and it was crazy, man. Like Tor, TDC, UCW, the whole TD4 crew, which was Tor, NA, NY, and Tor. It was Tor, NY, NA, and CA, I believe it was. Four of them dudes, but they was really like killing my area, like the Best Eye area. I remember going to school and I would have to pass this big NA throw up. And even from back then, it was like 83, 84. It was so humongous, and it would tower over me. And it was with a big foam cap. And you didn't really see those back then. I mean, I didn't anyway. You know what I'm saying? And I would see that throw up every day, and I was like, I want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Those are things that I remember vividly. Like I wanted to be a part of the graph scene back then.
Let me ask you a question. Tell us a little bit about the Fuck Crew history and how y'all connect, how those dots connect.
What was that? Say that again.
Tell us a little bit about the Fuck Crew and how those dots connect. I know, like, a little bit about the history of Fuck Crew and how y'all came into it.
Well, it was JCS at first. We was Just Can't Stop Crew, from like 84 into 89, because that's when FUCK became about in 1989. The Prez, the original Prez, which is LC, which is no longer with us, he came up with the crew. You know what I'm saying? And we was sitting down. I remember like me and him just sitting in his kitchen. It was one winter night, and we was like, "Yo, we gotta come up with a new crew because all right, we JCS, but let's try to bring something else new out." So we were sitting there, and we sat there for hours. You know what I'm saying? And me and L, we would build like on old writers. Most of the knowledge I got from was from him. You know what I'm saying? Because he was part of the graph scene before me, and he knew a lot about. A lot of old school writers. So he would just sit there with me and he would school me, be like, yo, this is this person, that person. So we was like, let's start up a new crew, and we sat there and we went through it and he was like, F-U-C-K. I was like, wow, that sounds dope, but it's a curse, I mean? I was like, the kids got to see it, I'm saying, stuff like that, I'm saying? So that's why I wasn't really with it, what I'm saying? And we was like, we really wasn't gonna go with it. But then Li came along, and those who know Li, he just don't care. So he's the one that really started pushing it in the beginning. Was Li? He just went all out, and he was just throwing it up everywhere. So we was like, damn, we already started it. You know what I'm saying? We already told this dude. So let's just go along with it. You know what I'm saying? So Cheo came up with a good idea. He was like, yo, instead of putting the whole F-U-C-K, you know what I'm saying, which is a curse, you know what I'm saying, let's just throw up the F. You know what I'm saying?
So that's where that come from.
Yeah,
that's deep.
It was Cheo's idea.
That's deep.
Because I had my daughter. I don't want my daughter reading, what I'm writing on the wall. Yeah, so.
Even though we were wilding back then, we still had like some type of morals. You know what I'm saying?
I like the F. I like what.
That was nice for me. I did that and I felt comfortable. So if I feel comfortable in anything I do in life, I'm gonna stay with it. And that's what.
Let me ask you a question. What kept you from really exploring the fills and the pieces and stuff like that?
Pieces and feelings and all that I was never into. What attracted me was the streets of New York. I was the type of vandal that I like to walk the streets of New York. I like to walk through the crowd. If I see like 25 dudes in the corner, I like to walk through them and watch them, watch me write my name. It turned me on, because I say like 68% of my graph, I did it by myself, and he could tell you. I went bombing with my family, with NAP, with BYE, and so on and so forth. But my get off was alone. To this day I'm still a loner. And so it was just like I wanted more because I used to love when people used to stop me and be like, "Yo, what you doing?" or "What you write?" That attention. And I was by myself. I was never with nobody because learning this from an early age. When you were a group, you tend to get in trouble. So. Me being by myself, whatever happened, it happened to me. None of my family got hurt because of me, so and that's how I used to think, and it's like I didn't care. I didn't give two fucks. So I used to just run wild, and I used to just love it, man, and.
Yeah, that was Cheo, man. Like, you know what I mean? It was like we would be in groups because we were running mobs, man. He wouldn't, but we would go like 20, 30 deep. Yeah. We would start off from Brooklyn and end up in the end of Bronx, you know what I'm saying, before the night is out, and walk back. If we didn't walk back, we were stealing bikes on our way back. You know what I'm saying? Every night we came back with different bikes. But he would just grab his 40, and Cheo would just be gone, you know what I'm saying? And we would go smash and stuff, and we would run into his stuff. Yeah. Like, this dude, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was already here, you know what I'm saying?
Another reason why I used to like that, because I wanted to make a left when I wanted to make a left. I wanted to make a right when I wanted to make a right. When you're with a group, you follow the group. You follow, you just follow. So I didn't like that because I felt like I'm missing a spot because we all hitting the same spot or whatever. So me just being by myself, I used to go and walk and hit what I wanted to do. So, and it just felt good, And not that I was just selfish, it was just like I felt better, But, me being with my family, I make sure, with all the power in me that nothing happens to my family, But as far as graph go, as far as that I wanted to throw them 7 letters up, I'd rather just do it by myself.
Well, you got up, that's for sure.
Yeah,
you got up.
It was more free for me.
For real.
But with all due respect, I want to go back to how this man became, how he got the tag BYE. You never explained. That's why I was trying to.
Yeah, I see you wrote it down there. I was reading it.
Please tell us how that
Follow the
about.
script.
Tag BYE came about. It's weird, right? Because I used to after I was writing C. I started writing V3, and it was short for Vandal 3, and I was bombing with these two dudes, which was Nate and Tut One, back in the winter '85, and we was smashing some streets going down to the shuttle. We was going to hit the shuttle line, and you know, Tut was like, "Yo, why you V3? That don't sound right." And I was like, "Yeah, I know, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what to come up with. You know what I'm saying?" So he was like, "Yo," and as we walking and bombing, I'm actually throwing up V3, and we was like, we was going through the scenario of names. You know what I mean? So Nate was like, you should write like BY or something, because every time I turn around, you gone. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we never know where you go. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yeah, BYE. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gone. You know what I mean? Like, I'm never, when you turn around, I'm not there.
You ghost.
You know what I'm saying? So then, I started writing it that same night, and we kept bombing, and, it was actually like a script letter. It was like a capital B with the Y and the E actually in one form. But it wasn't like the way I do it. Like,
No.
I kept doing it. It was like in another way. You know what I'm saying? And as we walking, I'm like, wow, I started thinking about, like, what can it stand for? And I was like, yeah, bombing yards everywhere. So I was like, yeah, I'm sticking with that name, and it just stuck from that night on.
That's a deep one. That's a deep one.
And let me just say too, man, and I'm not saying it because he's my family and I'm sitting next to him, and he could tell you I always said this, and I say this to every graffiti writer that I meet or whatever. The flyest tag to me is BYE, and like I said, I'm not saying it because he's here, but just BYE is just official, like bye, like you driving and you drive by and you see it and it's just telling you bye, like it's just crazy, bro. Like
I always
like for me to say that he's my brother and to know that BYE is my brother, like it just the feeling is amazing, you know.
You know what's deep? You have one of the, like, no lie to you, one of the best hand styles also. Like it always is, from the years I've seen it, it has evolved every time. You know what I mean? Every time, and it's always neat.
Thank you.
Yeah, so like definitely, I definitely, one of my old stories that I didn't even know y'all, I always pass my book to Nep. So one day I passed to Nep. Nep had that shit for probably 3-4 months. And when he finally brought it back, y'all killed my books. There was so many tags. He had LC, LI, at that time, Ajax, Sove, LC, LI. Like, it was so many. I'm like, you that one crew killed my whole book, man. Yeah. So I definitely remember your shit back in the days. Shout out to Fatal also. As we speaking earlier, Fatal used to have all the fills going up the 48 bus line, NFO. Definitely
no fair ones, baby. No fair ones.
Definitely a street killer in his time.
Hey, wait a minute! I thought it was gonna get a fair one.
That was actually Fatal, Lash, Lord 2B. Those dudes. We merged with them afterwards, but like in the beginning, like since we was all from the same hood, like I didn't really like Lash. I would go over his stuff. You know what I'm saying? And we had like a little beef with them, but then we was like, yo, we just all one. You know what I'm saying? We became one crew.
Yeah, I would like to give a shout out to my boy, my bro, Nep TCH, man.
Facts.
I love him to death, man. I have a tremendous respect for that man.
That's a fact, man. Shout out to my man Nep TCH, man. Definitely a lot of history behind I have with that brother. How y'all feeling about what's going on in Graph today?
Well, I gotta say I do applaud the people that's going hard out there in the streets, because the times we live in today, as far as cameras,
surveillance.
Surveillance and the cameras and. So I applaud those guys, man. I don't think Well, then again, I can't say that. If I was young, then I'll think about it. I'm not young no more. But the times is getting crazier, man. It's getting harder, and like I said, I applaud those cats, man. Women and men, both. So.
Yeah.
Back when we were bombing, or you was gonna say something?
No.
Back when we were bombing, it wasn't a felony. You know what I'm saying? Like, we would get rolled up by the D's, and they would just spray us on our clothes and kick us in the ass, and we'd be on our way. You know what I'm saying? But like now, they actually, you know what I mean? Like, actually taking you through, and you know what I mean? Like, dudes is doing Rikers Island time for that. You know what I mean? And I just can't see that far, man. You know what I'm saying? I love Graph. You know what I'm saying? But I just like backed up away from it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just at this point in my life, it's not worth it, man.
Yeah, everybody had their time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I give props to those that's out there doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, like he was saying, like with the surveillance cameras and all that. You know what I mean? Like, you have a higher probability of getting caught today.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Back when we was doing it, like, I never even thought about getting caught. You know what I'm saying? Not that I really cared, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was the type of dude that never really got caught. You know what I'm saying? I don't remember too many nights sleeping in the bullpens for Graph.
Ooh, I used to hate the
You know what I'm
fucking
saying?
bullpens.
Like, even when I was hitting chains, like, I got caught in a layup one time, and I got caught by Vandal squad. But those are like one of the rare moments that I remember getting busted for Graph, man.
Graph wise right now, definitely evolved. I'm one of the people that I see do some shit. What excites me in Graph now when I see it, because it's kind of like a rarity, is you ever see the dude PK and Kid?
Yes.
Like, to me, like Graph, what made Graph ill to me when I was young is the fact, like, how they do that kind of
On
thing.
the New Jersey Turnpike, I forgot what
I know what
exit.
you're talking about.
They got where is it?
I just
I thought
that's
you
how
had
it
a
is. When
picture.
you driving, that shit is on the side of the rocks.
It's like a bubble on a stick. It looks like a lollipop. And he did a throw up right on the side of it, and there's no way to hang on.
Facts.
There's no way to hang on.
It looked like a planet on a stick.
Yeah.
They got the top part. That's, to me, like, very. I like to see that in Graph now, because a lot of this stuff is redundant. But when you see those type of shits, like, it makes me say, like, there's people who has people who really care about what they putting up.
I don't know what's the next stage that Graph is going to evolve to. We got your commercial. There's the commercial stuff.
Yeah.
There's people got their stuff in galleries. Very well known
the
artists.
trains are coming back though.
Yeah,
the reason why I say
that's a touchy subject.
Yeah, the
though.
Europeans,
like,
though.
Today, you gotta expect for them to bang your door down. You know,
Hell
what I mean? Like,
yeah.
literally gonna raid your crib. We didn't have those problems back then. I mean, you had the squad out there, searching for dudes, but like. I mean, it wasn't as intense as it is today, man.
When it comes to the trains, I'm a person who's anti-MTA. Fuck MTA. All points. At all points, I don't care. They can know me. Fuck MTA. For many reasons. But if you follow the MTA, which I don't drive. I'm an MTA rider. There is a lot. The system is crumbling. It kind of if you be on a train on a regular basis like I do, it kind of has the feel of the 80s without so much of the painting on it.
Yeah.
What's going on? Like, the police don't fuck with the bums. None of that shit. The bums have whole cars for themselves.
Yes.
Like, and the police look and go to the next car. Like, that type of mentality.
Like, the police don't really want to fuck with the bums, because they're always going to be there.
Here's deeper.
Yeah.
I can get deeper though. People paying their car fare. I could tell you every day when I take the train, I see multiple people hop the train. And I'm talking about, there is no age group to that. I'm talking about old ladies. If that door open up, motherfuckers walk through that door. like if I'm lying, I'm flying. If y'all be on the train, if the door open up and there's no police there, it's more likely to happen that more than one person will walk through that door. And I'm talking about Chinese, Asian, I mean Chinese, Indian, black, Puerto Rican, white. Like it's a what the MTA used to have, that kind of that fear that they used to put out. It's not that no more.
People are broke. They fucking can't do the fucking.
And the system is broke.
Fucking the door
The system
opens.
is broke.
Fuck it, I'm going in.
The trains, you never seen trains ride. Let me say this. I'm not talking about niggas doing a train and they park it. Nah. And they bench it. Now I'm talking about the train is done and it goes through the city. You know what I mean? If you go to Broadway Junction, I'm gonna say real shit. If you go to Broadway Junction, if you stand there once a week, you probably see a train painter come in. Almost guaranteed. Like this is regular.
I give
basis.
I give it to the Europeans. They're coming to technically our backyard and then showing what could be done. But I leave that to a younger generation.
True indeed.
Yeah, I don't envision myself going to a layup right now.
Recently, I don't know if you seen on Instagram, but a whole train was done.
Yes.
Yeah.
The whole train was done.
Yeah.
Top to bottom.
Yes.
Bottom. So it's showing you. I have a
They
friend,
even did the front.
I have a friend in the MTA. He said he's the cleaner. He cleans. Yo, he sends me pictures on a regular basis of like trains, like
Really?
on a when I say a regular basis, a lot of them is on the
Those trains
Vandal
don't
Wire.
run though. They don't run.
They don't run.
Nah, they take them right
They
out.
take 'em right out.
of service. Yeah.
Yo,
I mean, it would be nice to look at it like up front and personal. Like if I was to see it, I'd be blown away. I say to myself,
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I say, them niggas got balls. I wouldn't do that because I got too much to lose, man. I mean,
Yeah, for real.
as you get older, man, you start to sway.
It's a
from
whole
that.
little.
Yeah,
There's a
you
whole
know, I
nother
mean,
set of responsibilities.
It will always be in my blood. Don't get me wrong. As far as markers or black books or stickers and stuff like that. But I got to be honest, guys, man. For me to buy some cans, because I won't even steal them. I won't even entertain the thought of stealing cans or
It's more important
anything
shit.
in that matter. Yeah, because we don't have to, man. If you really think about it, you don't really have to steal, man. You just got to focus. And anyway, that's another story. But yeah. So I can't see myself, like bombing with cans again. And I mean that with all due respect to all the writers that's coming up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like y'all do you. I have my time already, and I'm getting up at that age that, like I just try to stay out of trouble, nowadays. I got, like I said, I got
definitely
too much
try to stay out
lose.
my own way because left to my own devices, I'll be out bombing,
Yeah.
right? But I know that today is not worth it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And-
I got a grandkid. You know what I'm saying? I got 2 kids. You know what I mean? Like,
happy Father's Day to the fathers here,
Yeah,
man.
finally. Huge. I want steak and lobster.
That's what you want?
That's what hopefully I'm gonna get it.
Yo, happy Father's Day, man.
Thank you. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think I could do it, bro. Like just going with cans and just now, if you throw me some cans like indoors, stuff like that. But I'm just trying to stay out the radar because, come on, it doesn't look pretty for a grown man to get,
and that feels
go to
like
jail.
really so real to say, like as an out of body experience. Because I never thought I'd get to a point in my life where I wouldn't want to bomb me,
Right.
not wanting to hit. Nah, I never thought. But when you get here, you know what I'm saying. When you get to this place in your life, you realize that wow, you know what I mean, like, nah. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I thought I'd never get to this place. Like I always carried a marker. Even when I stopped bombing, I always carried a marker. You know what I'm saying? And when I had a chance, I would hit something. But last couple of years, it just ain't been there for me. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think for y'all and for a lot of the other, older statesmen in the culture, we need y'all in other aspects now. You know what I mean? I think it's time for y'all,
The next part of the journey.
and what y'all have a lot of history.
Yes.
And sometimes, that history got to be relayed. Y'all are at a time that I think it'd be dope for y'all to, just think about it. Books, man. Like your story, man. Like, it's now I'm not talking about like a drawing, but
No, I know.
There's a niche that's open that a lot of people like, we doing a show that we do every week. If this culture wasn't thriving, this wouldn't even exist. You
Right.
understand?
No, graffiti is alive.
It's live and going.
It's live, of course,
So-
it will never die.
And
Graffiti
I'm
will
not
never-
saying I will never bomb again. I was just saying today.
Yeah,
So don't get that twisted. Like I can make a comeback really quick. You know what I'm saying? I could get in another state of mind. But just like right now, today, I don't see that. You know what I'm saying? But,
for the people who did this, it only takes like a year, less than a year to go all city. Like for the people who really know,
Yeah.
people who really know.
Yeah, I used to go hard. I used to break now. I used to like.
I say from
Yeah.
like 1990 to 92, it was just like an everyday thing, just going out racking and bombing and just
That's when
just
the
mapping out. Like we would just be like, all right, we're gonna hit this
That's
Ave.
when the
You know what I'm
streets
saying? Make
were
sure that
heavy.
we smash every block on this Ave until we finish the whole Ave. Like I said earlier, and we would strategically do that. You know what I'm saying? And it just, it just kept. As we kept doing it, we just wanted more. It's like, just more.
Graph never leaves you. I say this to like the hustler, man. Sometimes you gotta step out the circle for a little bit, because the money is for the hustler. The money is always there. The block is always rotating with money. For you to try to do something else different, and if it don't work, to come back to the block again is easy. You know what I mean? And with Graph, it's kind of similar. How many people you seen? I seen what's OEO partner
P13.
P13. He did New York Dirty.
And he made a comeback.
Like this.
He
Like-
made a comeback
like-
too.
Yeah, he's like, how old is he?
I don't know, but I don't know how old he is, but he made a little
Yeah,
comeback.
I-
I was getting on a
Yeah.
train, and I was like, actually, I was shocked to see P13.
You understand where I'm coming
because
from?
he stopped writing. He stopped writing with OE after I think it was like maybe 84, 85. He stopped. OE kept smashing stuff, and he actually stopped, and he like fell off the circuit. But then he came back out.
And he got to be the reality 20 plus years later.
Yeah.
And to be and like to the fact that like you got younger people who actually seen a P13 tag. You understand? Like that's 20 years away from his time. So like it could always be returned to however you want to do it. But we coming to an ending of this show. Do y'all have any last words or things you want to say to the Vandal Hour peoples?
I first off, I wanna shout myself out because this is my first co-hosting gig. All right, may there be many
Shout
more.
out to the
Thank you,
guards.
Cheo, SMG. Bye, fuck crew. That's what's up. I wanna say hello and thanks for coming out. My first time on Damp. I want to giggles, Fogs, say it TMK. I hope it takes off from here. Let's see what we can do. I'm
Yo.
looking forward to it.
Anything from you want to say to the people, Cheo?
Yeah, just don't get crazy with it, man. Like there's many ways to do graph, man. I mean, these times, like these youngins, they want to like feel like they have something to prove and stuff like that, and it bothers me. I gotta be honest, it bothers me when I see like brand new property getting damaged. You know, like, come on, man. Now, I'm about to be 50, and I'm like, I look at it and it bothers me, So I'm just like, slow it down, man. It's not worth it. And the people that ride on NYPD police cruises, that's crazy.
We already know who that is.
I seen a couple of those recently.
So things like that, I'd be like, wow, man, they don't have no direction, like in life, man. And there's ways to do things, man, and with all due respect, like when I was graphing, man, I was one that never went over people either. Like I never had beef in graph, I felt like I'm wasting my pain or time and energy on people going over, so that's another respect that I have from the streets from not doing that, and so my advice is just, just do you, man. Just stay out of trouble, and if you could do it by yourself, man, it's always great to do it by yourself, man. Believe me, I know you have your people and you love your family and you grew up with your guys and your friends and stuff like that. But if you're gonna do something, man, do it by yourself, man. It just goes further, man. It goes farther. That's all.
There ain't no witnesses.
Facts. How you feeling, By? What you got for the people?
Feeling good, like, you know, as far as like you know, like going over people, I definitely identify with that. Like, it's just so gentrified now, like with these new writers coming out, you know what I'm saying, and they just coming to New York and not respecting the graft that's been there before maybe they were born. You know what I'm saying? So like, be conscious of what you go over, because I was taught that as a young writer, to be conscious not to go over the old school writer that might not even be on this earth anymore, and that's all he has is his name to identify himself out here. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know what I mean? Like, just gotta be real with yourself, man, and if you're gonna be out there painting, man, just don't go over old graft.
I agree.
I can't stress that enough, man, because I learned like from older writers that, you know, like, it's just not a good look. You know,
I agree.
If you got beef with a person, you know, just come to terms, shoot the fair one.
Especially,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like if you like right now, you know, you're risking getting a felony for bombing. You don't really want to be going over each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You need that recognition because you're putting that work in, so you want to make sure it lasts, which a lot of graph ain't lasting these days.
Well, it's the space, you know, compared to before 2000 and better, the space was cluttered. You know what I mean? Like, going over somebody back in the days was different because there was no space. You know what I mean? Like, now it's space. Like, if you go over somebody, I think it's gonna be intentional.
Now, let me just say some.
It was old city, I think, back then. It was much harder. It's easier because it's more clean fences.
I agree.
I'm sorry.
I
Let
agree.
me clarify this, right? When I say property, I mean brand new property. I'm talking about like a new house, a new fence, and stuff like that. I was totally against that. You will never see my name by myself in a brand new property. So as far as like property, like street vandals or whatever, yeah, do you? You know what I'm saying? If it's already painted or messed up or whatever, do you?
Right. That's
what I meant when I said property, like brand new property.
Yeah, like if it's already bombed, then you know what I mean.
Yeah,
but like if you're gonna hit somebody's van that's not written
right.
on,
I was never
on.
into that, man. You know, so that's one thing that I pat myself in the back. You know, like I got morals.
I see people paint on churches now.
Yeah, that's
I'm not gonna lie to you. I seen a lot. Like
I'm not religious.
That's not even abnormal. Like, I seen it on, like, no lie to you. It's like that rule is gone.
I'm not religious, but you know, if the church is brand new, then you know that's idiotic. You know, I think, you know, it's not. But you know, people do things just to like be seen. You know, like, oh man, the next
shock
day
effect.
yeah, shock.
The shock value.
Yeah.
So I just want to right quick want to be like, you know, I just want to just give like a not like a shout out, but like just want to give thanks to those that came before me to the graph game. You know, like Elvin 5, Wild Crew, like guys like from the 70s that, you know, that opened up these gates for us. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because, you know, like these guys don't get props anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to D-Main, NOK, my OG. You don't hear too much about him, but in my time, I seen trains done.
Who, D-Main?
D-Main.
Yes.
NOK.
Yes.
Shout out to my man AJ. You know, his life has changed, but that was one of my major influences of me was KV, NOK, D-Main, NOK.
Couple of crews I want to shout out is BBK, U5, 501, CDS, FUK, BCS, NFO, TD4, KO, BSK crew, JCS, TNR, STD, a lot of old school writers like Tor, Nash.
We want Nash on the show. Yeah. Whoever knows Nash, we just were speaking about this yesterday. We need Nash on the show.
I reached out to Nash last night.
Yeah.
Hard.
He don't do shows. Bro.
Hard.
Yeah, nah, he's not doing it. If he would have did it with someone, it would have been me.
True indeed.
And he was like, "Bah, I just can't do it." You know what I'm saying? Like he's just not that type. You know what I'm saying? He got a hell of a story to tell, and he acknowledged that, and I acknowledged that to him last night. And
he's
he was
very
like,
important to the game.
Yeah, but he's just not, and you know, he's just not one of them type of dudes. He's like real old school, like, you know what I'm saying, like.
Understood.
You know, and
but let me say this: we need phone calls. We do phone. This is what we're doing now for this season, so y'all know. We are now phone ready. So you we could do interviews over the phone. It sounds just like the person is
word?
here.
Okay.
Here's another one. We could do
what's up.
multiple calls at the same time too, because you could plug in 2 different phones and have 2 different people who's not here be here at the same time. This is some of the things that the Vandal Hour is doing now. You know what I mean?
Before you like the guys that's no longer with us, you know what I'm saying, that ran with us, like Cheo, CDS, let them rest in peace, LC,
Definitely.
JCS, anyone else, Smug, MSD.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Anyone else like you want to shout out? That
Kokomo, JCS,
Kokomo, you know what I mean, like dudes that's no longer with
DG.
us.
Is that
DG.
Is that wall still up with Kokomo LC did with the colors, all the colors?
Yeah, it's been there since
Yo,
1991.
here's an ill one. My cousin used to go to church across the street. Is a Pentecostal church that we used to go to, and that's when it was shootings. You couldn't even leave the church. You had to stay in all day. But that wall, I remember back then. That's how I knew I was at the church when I seen that wall.
And I will also like to give a shout out to Li, Neck, Gel,
Original fuck crew.
and JB. Yeah.
Oh
And
yeah,
of course, my uncle LC, man. Let him
Vic 2.
Rest in peace. Oh, Vic too, but
Rest in peace.
JB here on a regular. That's our peoples. JB hangs out with us on a regular. Just here last week. We hang out with JB. Shout out to JB, man.
RIA crew, wrecking it all.
Facts. Let me say this, man. Thank you all for tuning in to the Vandal Hour. I want you to know there's a lot of different things happening. There's no more editing process. This show will be up when it goes off right now. You can check it out. Go to S.STREET Media, Instagram. Hit the link in the bio. Watch it. Support. Shout out to the Vandal Hour guards too. I wouldn't be who I am here if it wasn't for those people that helped me get to this point. Shout out to Facts on Wax, June 457, Dre Kills, Swift, Strip Club Swift. Who else I'm missing, God? Who? Sinatra, East Sinatra, Mr. 13, Buyer 3, AC2. I'm sorry, is a lot of y'all. Brat. GS also. Shout out to everyone who helped bring this to fruition, man. Without y'all, there'd be no Vandal Hour, man. We have a lot of big things coming up, and we will keep evolving. Thank y'all for watching. I'm Mathematics. That's Sloan. That's Bob. That's Cheo SMG. And you are now watching the Vandal Hour. We're going to go out with some music. Peace.
Peace. That was good.
Yes.
Stop.